Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video here to give you guys a heads up on the best Steam game deals under the price of $10. Now, these are deals available directly on Steam, no third-party e-tailers or anything like that, which I always recommend you guys to utilize. And I'm not going to mention Bandai Namco deals that you can get through the Bandai Namco Humble Bundle, because at that point, you're just tripping. Like, you should go get that Humble Bundle because it's absolutely insane and the value there is crazy. But Bandai Namco is running a publisher sale that I think is quite good, and there's some other stuff that I think is worthwhile to mention. Want to cover both deals on Steam and through third-party e-tailers pretty regularly, so hopefully we can do that in the coming weeks. But let's get started, and let's get started with a game that the majority of you probably have. Actually, when it comes to Skyrim Special Edition, some of you guys might actually have the OG Skyrim. So if you have the OG Skyrim, there's a lot of reason to upgrade to the Skyrim Special Edition. It's updated edition. A lot of mod support is with this edition, and you're talking about all the DLC coming with it as well. Skyrim's one of my favorite games of all time. It's a classic. It's a game that I've sunk an absurd amount of hours into, given I played this game initially on the PlayStation 3, like the worst version of the game. Then when it came out on it was out on PC, but I got my PC and then I played it on there. And yeah, since then I had played it on PS4 and 5 as well. So yeah, I'm down bad for Skyrim, but it's a classic, and everybody should have it in their library. And right now, for $8, certainly one to pick up if you don't have Skyrim for whatever unknown reason. Next up, we have Frostpunk, which is 70% off for $9. Still kind of pricey for this game, to be perfectly honest. Like right now, this game is literally available on the PlayStation Store. The complete collection is cheaper than Frostpunk standalone on here on Steam. Now, Frostpunk is a game that's probably better suited to be played on PC, so maybe that's the reasoning for the higher price point. Nevertheless, it's an 11-bit Studios game. They also did This War of Mine, and yeah, Frostpunk is a game that will tug at the heartstrings and will have you make some absolutely grim decisions. There are some heartbreaking choices to be made, but if you're into city-building survival games, this is one with a darker tone to it, certainly, but that is more up my alley for sure. And this is one that I got more into than a lot of these other games that really aren't my cup of tea as far as these style of games go, but a pretty good one, and $9 is fairly good. They do have the DLC on sale, so you can check that out if you're interested as well. Next up, we have Hotline Miami. Both Hotline Miami 1 and 2 are on sale. $1.99 for the first one, $2.99 for the second one. They have the collection for $8.02, but that's kind of a meme thing to pick up because the additional content you get is like just some soundtrack stuff, so it's nothing like you really need, so you should just buy the game separately if you do want both. Hotline Miami is a throwback, retro, over-the-top action shooter, top-down, absolutely visceral, bloody as all hell, but it's got a really, really trippy visual style and something that I think a lot of people can get into. You know, you can run it on just about any machine as well. Again, it's absolutely bloody, so not for everybody as far as, you know, getting like a younger person to get into it, but you know, even they will enjoy it. I mean, how many of you played GTA growing up? Probably all of you. So, $1.99 for the first one, $2.99 for the second one. Fairly good on that. Next up, we have Tales of Berseria, which is 80% off for $9.99. Now, if you're trying to get into the Tales of franchise, I would highly recommend you to pick up that Humble Bundle, the Bandai Namco Humble Bundle that includes Vesperia and a bunch of other games. Now, it doesn't include any other Tales of titles, but, you know, you'll get Vesperia, which I think is great. Otherwise, Berseria is a really, really good one. This is one with a darker story as well. Velvet is a really compelling main character, and definitely quite a bit different than your typical JRPG main character. The rest of the cast is solid, and again, with the Tales of games, they're always fairly consistent, and I thought the story in this game was really strong. So, Tales of Berseria, good pickup here. Again, if you're getting into the series, this is not a bad one to start with. Like, I would probably recommend Arise the most, just because visually, that game is completely ahead of all of the other games, but other than that, this is a pretty good one, and it's fairly, it's a good bit cheaper than Arise, so check it out. Next up, we have Rayman Legends, which is 80% off for $5.99. I've talked about Rayman Origins and Legends ad nauseum at this point. I think Ubisoft can do so much more with Rayman as an IP, and they did a great job with Origins and Legends, and these games are just fantastic platformers, great art styles, soundtrack is good, and they're throwback classic platformers that still look good today. If you're remotely into platformers, $6 for Legends is great. A lot of levels and some challenge in there as well. It's just a shame that Ubisoft doesn't do more with Rayman as an IP, because I think there's a lot more to do here. Next up, we have a couple more Tales of titles. These aren't a part of the Humble Bundle either. Tales of Zestiria is 90% off for $4.99. This is probably the weakest Tales of game, but, you know, it's still a fairly decent game, and I think it's worthwhile to go through, but definitely don't play this one first. Play this one, like, after you've exhausted your Tales of titles, and you're like, man, I need to play all of them. And Zestiria is still an okay game. It's got one of the weaker casts as far as the Tales of games go, and the story has some plot decisions that I don't think are ideal, to say the least, but still a decent game. And then there's also Tales of Symphonia, which is 75% off for $4.99. Now, this game, a lot of people, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of people consider this to be the best in the series. The issue is this game is a GameCube game, so it's a GameCube game ported to PC, and it definitely has the signs of it being a GameCube game, so it's a little bit harder to get into. That's why I would recommend some of the other titles, but Symphonia has a really strong story and cast of characters, and, you know, the soundtrack's still really good. Gameplay is your Tales of fare, but the visuals definitely leave a lot to be desired at this stage of the game, but for $4.99, not a bad pickup. Next up, we have The Wolf Among Us, which is 50% off for $7.49. Kind of a hefty price point, but I always talk highly about The Wolf Among Us. I just think it's a fantastic game, and I think it's 1A, 1B as far as Telltale's best game goes. You know, Walking Dead Season 1 was tremendous, but The Wolf Among Us, I think, is just as good as Walking Dead Season 1, and I thought they did a fantastic job with it. The Wolf is a great main character, more of a mature tone. I mean, Walking Dead, let's be honest, was a fairly mature game as well, but Wolf Among Us certainly has a very mature tone, and we'll see if Season 2 ever comes to fruition. I'm really hoping it does, but we'll see how that turns out, because the trailer we saw for Season 2 looked tremendous, but it's just been in development for so long, so who knows if we'll ever get it. What I do know is Season 1 is out right now, and $7.49, not a bad price for that. Next up, we have a game that I talk about ad nauseum as well. You guys are probably sick to your stomach hearing me talk about it, but Enslaved Odyssey to the West is a fantastic game. 75% off for $4.99. This is one of the most underrated games I feel like Bandai Namco has published, and it's a Ninja Theory developed game. Ninja Theory obviously working on Hellblade, Hellblade 2. They did DMC Devil May Cry. I thought they did a killer job with Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Is it perfect? No. Some of the story, especially the latter portion, I thought got kind of nonsensical, but I thought the visual style was really cool. Has this vibrant, colorful art style. Gameplay and combat is fine. It certainly shows its age, and the exploration is pretty good as well. It's a fairly linear game, but nonetheless, going from all of the different locales, I thought was pretty enjoyable. For this price point, I think it's a really good pickup, so check that out, and it's a game that I'm always going to give a shout to just because I think it's at a really high level. Next up, another Ubisoft release here, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist. Another franchise and an IP that Ubisoft can do so much more with, but you know what? Splinter Cell is seemingly getting a remake, so fingers crossed that comes out before our lifetimes is over. But Blacklist, I thought, was a great game. This was the last real major Splinter Cell game. Actually, the last Splinter Cell game in general, I think we got. And I thought it was really good. Obviously, you can't take advantage of the online component anymore, but for the single player, I would still say it's well worth a pickup. At this point, the game is over a decade old, which is wild to think about. I remember, you know, being excited for this game as it was coming out, but yeah, them's the breaks sometimes. We're getting old, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, Splinter Cell Blacklist for $7.49, quite good there, and if you've never played a Splinter Cell game, and you're remotely into action style titles, you definitely should play them, so check it out. This is one I would highly recommend, but that'll do it for me. Again, a lot of great Steam game deals under the price of $10. Check them out, links in the description box below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.